playing the hi-hat incorrectly at a jam session is one of the quickest ways to just subtly communicate to the other players that you might not know exactly what you're doing. And the reason for that is because it's one of these things in jazz where there's a lot of subtlety to it, and to the untrained ear it might not sound that different, but to the jazz players who really know, it's like nails on a chalkboard almost. Like one of my students was doing this the other day, and for me it's just almost driving me nuts, so I had to show him real quick how to do it the right way, okay? First of all, I just want to tell you, like this hi-hat sound, when do you use it? Usually you'll use it when the bass player is playing what we call a two-feel. So instead of walking like just quarter notes, they'll play half notes. Right? So that's when you want to play that two-feel because it matches up with the two-feel on the bass. Right? Now, I want to show you first what it sounds like when it's not right, okay? This is what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like when it's right. Okay? So, I don't know if you caught that. Let me do it one more time. All right, that's the wrong way. Here's the right way. Okay, it's really subtle. All right, the difference is when I'm opening the hi-hat, right? Now let me explain. There's open notes, which is kind of this sloshy sound where the hi-hats are hitting against each other, and there's closed notes, right? The wrong way is to do two closed notes and one open note, right? Which is like opening on 1 and 3, right? Like long, short, short, long. It sounds very skippy. It sounds very awkward. It sounds right? It's not very hip. In jazz, we want it to feel more legato, especially on the offbeats, which connect to the long downbeats, okay? So the correct way to do this is to have a long note, one short note, and then two long notes for the skippy, like this. You hear that? So, right? So both of those two notes are long. Right? Instead of... Now the coordination of this is very weird because it's more about where you're lifting rather than where you're pushing down, which us drummers, we're used to thinking about when we're putting things down, like can I line up these two notes, right? So here's the best way to practice this, okay? My teacher back in the day, the great Gary Williams, showed me this when I first learned how to play the hi-hat, is to actually play it with your hand, right? So I play traditional grip, and it lends itself very well to putting your thumb on it like this. You can also do it with match grip though, so don't complain about that, okay? So the way that you do it is you get your hi-hat to where it has that sloshy sound that you like, not too open, not too closed, right? But nice and sloshy. And then once you have it there, just leave your foot there. Just let it kind of hover there so that it maintains that. Now, instead of closing it with our feet, we're going to close it with our hands by just pinching it like this. Right? Now, this is really nice because it has a warmer sound actually than when I pinch it with my foot. There's with my hands. There's with my foot. You see that? It's very subtle, but again, jazz is all about the subtleties. This is what sets apart the good players from the great players, okay? So that's the first thing, right? It has a warmer sound. The other thing is, remember how we have that weird coordination of having to lift things off, right? That's easier with our left hand than it is with our left foot. For most of us, our left foot is our least coordinated limb on our whole body, right? Our left hand is going to have a lot better coordination, and we have the tactile, we can tell when it's touching because our skin is touching it instead of our foot, right? Now, the way that we're going to do this is we're going to go note by note. We're going to go open, and then put your thumb on and play a note, right? You don't want to just close it with your foot like this, right? You want to put your thumb on and play a note. And then take it off and play 2 open notes, right? So again, the first time people do this, they always try to go, they just jump right into it, and they don't get the release at the right time. I recommend you go note by note like this. Open, close, 2 open. Just like that. Just get the muscle memory, get the perfect sound. Right? If you do this, you lose, right? So once you got that, then you can start to put it together, make it a little faster. Right? Faster and faster, whatever tempo you need for the songs you're playing. So that's how you get a really good sound. And I'll tell you what, that is my go-to when I play the 2 feel and the hi-hat. It sounds the best, especially because of that warm touch, but there might be times where you have to comp. Now, I'll tell you, most of the time, you won't need to comp. And the reason is because the 2 feel, again, it's when the bass player is playing the 2 feel, and usually that's like the chillest part of the song. The reason we play a 2 feel is to make things really simple so we have somewhere to go in the song, right? So I don't recommend actually comping a lot at the very beginning when you're doing that 2 feel. But there might be some times where you're playing a big band chart that has some hits or something like that, or just something you want to catch. So you need to be able to have your left hand so that you can comp. Right? So what we do need to do is we need to learn how to do it with our foot. Okay, so now that we got this, we taught ourselves how to open it in the right spot. Teach yourself the same way how to make that sound, opening it at the right spot with your foot like this. So you're gonna go open note, and then a closed note, right? And I closed it with my foot this time, right? And then lift your foot and 2 open notes, right? Open note, closed, right? And again, don't do it too fast and accidentally get the wrong open and close. That you miss the point completely if you do that, right? You don't want this sound. Right? Go slow, get the right sounds, and then once you got it, start to build it up. If you get that down, then you should be able to comp. Now, this is one of many things that has a lot of subtlety to it, and when you go to a jam session, you want to show all of those subtleties. Everything from your touch, everything to the vocabulary and the notes you choose, everything to knowing when to comp and how to make the song sound musical because you know the phrasing. I can't cover all of that in this video, but that is what I work on with my students. So if you're interested in becoming a student, click the link in the description. You'll see a short video about what it's like to work with me. Then you have an opportunity to book a call so we can have a conversation about what your goals, what you're trying to work on, and see if it's a good fit. Now, if you practice that, you get it into your muscle memory and you got it all dialed in, your hi-hat's gonna sound super pro when you go to a jam session, and people are gonna know that you're a real jazz drummer. So if you like this video, there should be another one that you're gonna find interesting right here. I'll see you on the flippy flop.